not usually very up to date with pop culture, but a while back I remember hearing some very disgusting allegations against Kenneth Petty, Nicki Minaj's husband. I kind of forgot about it for a while until a subscriber contacted me about it, and after doing some further research, I'm honestly horrified that Nicki not only stands by this man, but has tried to silence his victim too. Let's investigate. If you enjoy internet mysteries and generally disturbing content, feel free to subscribe and turn on notifications for more content like this. I also have a Patreon and a PayPal, so if you're interested in supporting the channel, feel free to check those out, links will be in the description. This video will contain vague discussions of sexual assault. Viewer discretion is advised. You can head over to my Patreon for an uncut version of this video, which features extra details that were too graphic to include in this cut. On the 23rd of September 2021, 43-year-old Jennifer Huff made the brave decision to publicly speak about a traumatic event that occurred when she was just 16. She recalls seeing Kenneth Petty at the bus stop on her way to school on Friday the 16th of September 1994. It sounds like they were acquaintances, but they didn't hang out or speak on the phone. Jennifer had just seen him around. He asked where she was going. She told him she was on her way to school, and he said he was too. Jennifer alleges that she turned around and he grabbed her jacket before holding what she at the time thought was a gun to her back. He forced her to go back to his house as she was pleading and crying, and eventually he allegedly raped her. Afterwards, he apparently got up and stood in the mirror, beating his chest and repeatedly saying, "I'm the man." Jennifer was able to escape after he fell between the beds when she threw a plastic bottle towards him, then pushed him. She ran to school and told the security guard what happened. He contacted the police and she led them to Kenneth's house. He was arrested and Jennifer was taken to hospital. As if what happened to her isn't traumatic enough already, her chance to get justice was threatened when her family tried to make her drop the charges against him. Kenneth initially denied the allegations, though he was charged with first-degree rape, and in 1995, he pled guilty to attempted rape, for which he served 4 years in prison. 4 years for effectively destroying this woman's life. You can see in the interview how much this has affected her. She says she blamed herself and thought it was something she did or didn't do. It still affects her to this day. She's overly conscious of how she looks in case she attracts the wrong kind of attention. Sadly, these are all common thoughts for victims of sexual assault, but I really hope she realises it was not her fault. If hearing what Kenneth allegedly did to Jennifer hasn't boiled your blood enough, it's far from his only crime. In 2002, he shot and killed a man named Lamont Robinson and took a plea deal to have the second-degree murder charge reduced to manslaughter. He was sentenced to 10 years in prison but served only 7 and was released under supervision in May 2013. I wasn't able to find much more information on his criminal record, though he has reportedly been arrested a total of 12 times. So we've established that Kenneth Petty is a piece of shit. Not the kind of person you'd even want to smile at in the street, let alone marry and have a child with, unless you're Nicki Minaj. She first met Kenneth when she was 16 or 17, reports vary, which would have been very soon after he was released from prison at the age of 20. Some sources state that the pair dated for a while, and it's not clear whether they lost contact due to Kenneth's manslaughter conviction, or if it already happened by that point, but they didn't reconnect until 2018. In November that year, Nicki started posting photos of him on Instagram without actually mentioning his name or tagging him. I wonder why. People soon found out though, and it didn't take long for the news to be spread around social media, with many questioning what Nicki was doing with such a violent and depraved man. She publicly defended him in a tweet that read, "He was 15, she was 16, in a relationship, but go off internet, y'all can't run my life, y'all can't even run your own life. Thank you, boo." Well, there's a number of things wrong with that statement. Firstly, they were both 16. I don't even know why that matters though. Secondly, they weren't in a relationship. And thirdly, what would it matter if they were? Is she implying that someone can't be raped by someone they're in a relationship with? She also said that she believes he deserves a second chance, which is just baffling to me. I believe most people can change, but Kenneth didn't steal a pack of sweets from a corner shop or stream a movie illegally. He literally someone, allegedly, and only served 4 years for it. I think that's pretty unforgivable regardless, but he was given a second chance. He could have left prison, become a law-abiding citizen, and at least tried to right his wrongs, but instead he chose to kill someone in cold blood. Nicki also tried to discredit Jennifer by liking a comment stating that she must have been a white girl, and later saying herself that, quote, white is right, implying Jennifer got away with falsely accusing Kenneth because she's white. Jennifer is biracial, so that's a blatant lie on Nicki's part, and she talks about it as if Jennifer was found to be lying in court but never faced consequences. That obviously never happened, as Kenneth was convicted for his crime. I don't know if Nicki was aware of the incident in 1994 when she first met Kenneth. I could never agree with her stance, but I could almost picture a scenario where he manipulated her into believing it wasn't true, or maybe she was even scared of him. But she was around 35 years old when they reconnected. As an independent woman, she made that decision to not only associate with him, but defend him and imply that the victim is lying about what happened, and I just can't wrap my head around it. I don't know if she gets off on this bad bitch persona she has, and Kenneth being a violent criminal adds to that, or if she just wants to be seen as the one who tamed the bad boy. I have no idea. But at best she looks like an absolute idiot, and at worst she just looks like a really shitty person. Anyway, the backlash didn't deter Nicki from pursuing a relationship with Kenneth, and in October 2019 they got married. 5 months later, not long after Nicki became pregnant with their first child, Kenneth was arrested for failing to register as a sex offender at his new home in California. He initially pled not guilty and posted $20,000 bail. Then in August, he sued to get his name off the New York register, claiming someone else had signed the documents while he was in prison for manslaughter. He wanted to clear his name because he claims that he didn't get the chance to appeal when he was in prison. I don't really know what happened after that, but in September 2021, he ended up pleading guilty and now faces a maximum sentence of 10 years in prison and a lifetime of supervised release. He's due to be sentenced in January next year, and I really hope they throw the book at him. To make matters worse, he and Nicki have both been accused of harassing Jennifer in an attempt to pressure her into recanting her claims. Following Kenneth's arrest in March, Jennifer claims Nicki spoke with her on the phone and offered to fly her to LA if she would sign a prepared statement taking back the allegations. Jennifer declined and told Nicki, "I need you to know, woman to woman, that this happened." She claims that associates of the couple contacted her and tried to bribe her with money on multiple occasions, and other perks such as Nicki sending birthday videos to her daughter. She was apparently offered advice on reducing the legal ramifications of recanting the allegations, even though she maintains throughout that she's telling the truth. After refusing an offer of $20,000, Jennifer says that she received a message saying that they're going to use that money to put on her head. Her lawyer later claimed that the same associate posted an Instagram video threatening to kill or seriously harm her. Her daughter has also been approached and followed by an unknown man who they presume are associates of Nicki or Kenneth, as he asked her if she knew Zoo, which is Kenneth's nickname. Jennifer recently filed a lawsuit against Nicki and Kenneth as a result of the alleged harassment. There was silence on Nicki's Twitter for nearly 2 weeks after this lawsuit was filed, but interestingly, she posted on the day it was reported that Kenneth had been arrested, as if nothing had happened. Then things took a conspiratorial turn on the 13th, when one of her tweets sparked what has since become known as Ballgate. It read, "My cousin in Trinidad won't get the vaccine because his friend got it and became impotent. His testicles became swollen. His friend was weeks away from getting married. Now the girl called off the wedding." If there's any comic relief in this video, that is it. I'm definitely not the only one who thinks that she posted that to draw attention away from the Kenneth situation, and probably to garner support from anti-vaxxers too. The tweets prior to that showed some scepticism towards vaccines, but that one is just ridiculous and sounds made up on the spot. Nicki is entitled to her own opinion, but she had to know that tweeting such a bizarre anecdote relating to a current controversial issue would result in backlash. And it worked, at least temporarily. There were a lot of people talking about her cousin's friend's balls, rather than the fact that her husband is an alleged predator and murderer, and that she allegedly tried to silence a victim through harassment and intimidation. Though in the long run, it ended up bringing even more attention to her current legal trouble. Not that it would even begin to excuse Nicki's actions, but I wish I could say that her defending, or at least associating with an alleged was a one-off, and that she was somehow just blinded by her love for this man, but it's becoming a bit of a habit at this point. In 2017, Nicki's brother, Jelani Maraj, was convicted of predatory sexual assault of his 11 or 12-year-old stepdaughter, reports vary. She was 14 at the time of the trial and testified that Jelani assaulted her as frequently as 4 times a week, sometimes twice a day, usually when they were left alone in his home. His lawyer claimed that the allegations were fabricated by the girl's mother to get money out of Nicki Minaj, that the evidence against him was significant. The girl's brother claimed that he witnessed one assault, and Jelani's DNA was found on the girl's pyjama pants. Following his arrest, Nicki posted a family photo with him in it on social media from the bowling alley they were at. She also apparently paid his $100,000 bail, though I can't confirm that due to varying reports. She has also referred to the crime as alleged, despite damning evidence against him. It's not clear quite how much contact they've had since his conviction, though she has visited him in prison at least once to support her mother, she said. She apparently threatened to sue Jesse Palmer for saying that she defended Jelani, though I don't think she ever went through with it. Nicki also has no problem working with alleged predators, one being Daniel Hernandez, known professionally as Tekashi 6ix9ine, or just 6ix9ine. In October 2015, he pled guilty to a felony count of use of a child in a performance after he had inappropriate contact with a 13-year-old girl and later distributed videos of the incident online in a music video. Various other allegations have been made against him, including that he choked a 16-year-old in a shopping centre in 2018, and that same year ordered his associate to shoot Chief Keef, which he did, though luckily Chief Keef was not hit. In 2019, he admitted to years of domestic violence against his ex-girlfriend after she alleged that he violently beat her on numerous occasions and sexually assaulted her too. He also narrowly avoided life in prison by testifying against fellow gang members after pleading guilty to 9 charges, including conspiracy to commit murder and armed robbery. There are a number of other questionable characters that Nicki is associated with, either in her personal life or professionally, including XXXTentacion, who admitted to stabbing 8 people and abusing his ex-girlfriend, Drake, who has been accused of inappropriate relationships with minors, assaulting a woman in 2017, and getting his entourage to assault people on multiple occasions, amongst other things. Chris Brown, who violently assaulted his ex-girlfriend Rihanna, and has been accused of assault on other occasions and other crimes. Eminem, who has faced assault and weapon-related charges in the past, and allegations of statutory rape, not to mention his worryingly violent lyrics against women, including his ex-wife, that may have contributed to her suicide attempt. Last year, Nicki was seen to be following Lovely Peaches, a so-called influencer who lied about selling her infant daughter into trafficking, as well as appearing naked on live streams with minors and taking nude photos with fans as young as 15. Nicki isn't the only celebrity to have associated with predators, but at least some have the decency to accept they made a mistake, apologise, and sometimes donate to charity as a way of repenting, but Nicki just does not care. I think she'll do anything to further her career, no matter what morals she has to lack to do so. And her fans don't care either. They blindly follow her and make it clear that she could do no wrong in their eyes. Some have even started harassing Jennifer, going as far as to send death threats. This video was very much focused on the morally bankrupt people that Nicki associates with. I could probably make a whole separate video exposing Nicki herself. She's been involved in various controversies relating to bullying, homophobia, and profiting off Nazi imagery, just to name a few. But can we expect much more from someone whose husband has more mugshots than she has #1 hits? I'd be interested to hear your thoughts in the comments. Were you ever a fan of Nicki Minaj, and if so, did any of this change your opinion of her? If you enjoyed the video, please consider liking and subscribing. Huge thank you to my patrons, whose names are on screen now. I really appreciate your support. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next Thursday in a new video.